started the third lesson, tanks and groundwater, and we completed in the previous class the tanks which were repaired under the Mission Kakatiya, our village, our tank scheme, and who are the people tanks constructed in the ancient times, and how the tanks are useful to the people, and what are the uses of tanks, that we studied in the previous chapter. And also Betala Reddy, on the Betala Reddy, name of the Betala Reddy is the village name also Betavolu. He constructed one tank on the name of his wife, and that was given nearly the water facility to irrigate the farmers to 1900 acres. These are the things we studied in the previous chapter. Let us we continue fishes in tanks. There are the different types of the tanks. In the tanks, the different types of the fishes also we studied. Earlier, different kinds of the fishes like the Buddha Parakalu, Jellalu, Kudipelu, Kundamamalu, Kuntumukulu, Pulishalu, Guryopillalu, Korameenulu, Velugalu, etc. These are the names of the fishes where the different types of the fishes have the different names that also we studied in the previous class. But the fishermen, what type of nets they will use? The net means vala in Telugu. The what type of nets they will use, that we can see in the titles of in today's class. Fishing in the tanks, net types, fishing, cooperative societies of the fishermen. So cooperative societies of the fishermen, why they are created societies, that also we can see in the today's class. Let us we see net types. The fishermen use the nets of the different kinds of the catch the fish. There would be 30 kannulu, which means holes in small parisha, and thinner net, various 60 kannulu in the big parisha, and thicker net. These nets are also called as the sannabu vala and doddu vala. The meaning of the vala means net. In Telugu we will say vala, sannabu vala and doddu vala. Big net and small net. In some areas the nets contains the beds made by the either iron or the lead. The sannabuvala weight less, they catch the fishes. Prawns by the sannabuvala. Dodduvala is used to catch the fish of the weight 100 grams, which means with the small net they are catching the very less quantity, very less weighted fishes, and with the big net they are catching the more than the 100 gram weighted fishes. So vala is used to catch the fish of the weight 100 grams to 5 kilos, and doddu vala weight more. And can you think why? Because which can capable and which can hold the high amount of the strength to take under the net fence where the fishes comes and they cannot pass out of the net, and it has the lot amount of the capacity, and it is weighted, and it can catch the very weighted and big fishes, and the other can catch very less amount of the very small fishes which comes under the small net, which means sannapu vala, which is given in our textbook. Fisher folks use two methods to catch fishes. Fisher folks use two methods to catch fish. One in shallow waters and one in deep waters. Visair vala is used when there is less water. When the less water is available, in the less water fish is available, which means they use visair vala. and water in the tank, kachu wala weight is less. Fishermen go further into the stable water, which means where the water is long term is located, there they will reach here. So and spread the kachu wala. These are used mostly in the occasion where the water is deep. See, we can see the different types of the, see, suppose the water is deep, the very deepest water, in deepest water fish is available to the catchman's, fisherman's, which means they will go with these nets here. Fishing is the profession to the fisher folks, to the fishermen. Here they use the different types of the metals, different types of the things like sandaku wala, doddu wala, which we are discussing here. The things they are using here to catch the fishes. And fishermen starts first fishing early in the morning. Some use the various visor wala for the fishing or the banks where the water is not deep. Others go into the lake on a ferry made with the thermocol and the reach the place where the water is very deep and spread the kachu wala. And fishing is done twice a day. They catch the fish from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning and take them to the market. Again they catch the fish from the 1 to 4 o'clock during the noon time, the afternoon, and take them to the market. They don't care for the cold rains and the heat and do not do the fishing. The fish left over after the sale are washed nearly and dried under the sun. When the catch is small, they take them to the Kodada or Suryapet, which are located. Kodada, Suryapet is the newly formed district. There they will take, here example is given about the Suryapet district and the Suryapet fisher folks, Suryapet fishermen, how they will fish. When they will get less fishes, where they will sell, in which market they will sell, in Suryapet market, in Kodada they will sell for selling. And when it is large, they take it to the cities like Hyderabad. Usually it is the men who do the fishing and it is the women who do the selling in the market. See figure 3.1 how they are selling in the market. So this was the procedure of the fisher folks. See these fisher folks, these fishing community, fisher folks have the community, cooperative society of the fishermen. What cooperative societies have the fishermen, we will see in the next passage. See here, a family needs to have a membership in the cooperative society for fishing. The membership is decided on the basis of the ayakat. Usually the society takes one member per 1 hectare, 2.5 acres. There are 339 members in the society today. Where in the Nalgonda in Suryapet district, 339 members in the cooperative society. In cooperative society, 339 members are taken the membership as the part of cooperative society. The society pays rupees 2,35,000 to the Department of the Fisheries for the fishing in the tanks. The society has the purchased fish seedings and put them into the tanks. They are supposed to pool the produce and share the earnings equally among the members, which means 339 members are the members of the cooperative society. These are the cooperative society members are given some areas where in the water areas, where in the tanks, where in the dams, where they have to fish in the different areas, in different regions. They are divided by the cooperative society. Few members have to fish in that region, few members have to fish in another region. In the square areas, in the kilometer areas, they are given some some parts. In that parts that people only have to fish. Others are not allowed to fish in that areas. They are given such different variations where we can find into the different categories. So the fishermen how the cooperative societies have the different activities, and they have to pay something as the membership fees, and the cooperative societies are paying the amount where the fish seeds, which means small fishes are putting into the tanks, and that when they are growing as the source to the fishermen, and they are getting fishes and they are selling into the Hyderabad and Suryapet districts. Recently, a new practice can be seen in the many fishing tanks. The fishermen are too poor and need loans for the running their households. They cannot afford to buy the fish seedings from the fish farms. Hence, they are forced to take loans from the traders. Traders give the advance loans and also take the responsibility of the putting seedings in the tank. In returns, the fisher folk have to sell all their produce to the trader at the price fixed by him, which is usually about 10 to 20% of the actual market price. In this way, the trader makes a huge profit. If banks could give loans to the cooperative societies, the fishermen could become independent of the trader contractors. What was given? Adversely, one of the impact was affected on the fisher folks is that they do not have money to purchase the seeds of the fish, and adversely they have to take money from the money lenders like traders. The traders are given money as to a dealing. What is that? If suppose they give money to the fishermen, they have to sell that fishes to that money lenders only who has given money to the fishermen. And in this contract, where they had to give that fish which they were cast that to the very less price. This was adversely impacting on their lives, where they have to get good conditioned facilities. That facilities are not fully given to these people, where they are facing a lot of problems. And that if suppose the banks provide loans to the fisher folks, to the cooperative societies, they do not have to affect with such impacts, where they have to sell to the money lenders to very less cost the fishes. It was the one of the impact only where we can find as the example was given by the Suryapet district of the Nalgonda, which was formed recently, new district from the Nalgonda district as new district of the Suryapet, also one of the new district at present. The story which is given of the fisher folks we have studied up to now. In part 2 we will study about groundwater. What do we study in the part 2? Part 2 chapter. In part 2 study tanks and groundwater. Tanks and groundwater is the title of our lesson, and up to now we studied about tanks and fishermen, fisher folks, cooperative societies, what problems they are facing. If suppose bank provide loans to them, they will be good and they do not have to lose their fishing benefits. That we studied. Let us we see in the part 2 of this chapter, groundwater. The groundwater, what we are drinking at present daily in our life, is all areas of the groundwater is good? No. Like some examples, rainwater not only flow down the streams or rivers but also slowly goes down into the soil. This water accumulates below the ground in the gaps between the rocks, pebbles, sand, etc. This is the groundwater which we reach through wells and bore wells. See, when rains are falling on the surface of the earth, the groundwater is constantly increases because the water goes into the earth on the surface of the earth and it gets percolates and the water size will increases here and the water will increase. Then when water will increase, meanwhile only the dig wells will, in dig wells also water will increase and in tube wells also water will increase. Like we can find out here the figure 3.2 rocks and water below the ground level, where the large amount of the rocks are located. In such regions also water will increase but not adversely compared to the soil regions. Observe the ground level where one dig well is given. Based on the dig well, the water level is constantly different. Rocks which have cracks or the pores, minute holes in them and can contain the water are called previous rocks. In Telangana, there are some areas where such rocks like sandstones are found. Some rocks like granite, kadapa, limestone, etc. are very compact and do not have pores in them. Water cannot enter into them. Groundwater usually accumulates above such rocks since the water cannot go beneath them, and these are called impervious rocks. Most of the rocks underlying the soil in Telangana are of this kind. A small portion of the land in Telangana which is next to rivers has deep layers and sand soil and the pebbles. Water also accumulates in these layers. The layer of the water which accumulates under the ground among rocks is called aquifer, which means neat and good qualified water, and the thickness of the aquifer determines the availability of the groundwater in the area, which means if suppose in one region the large amount of the rocks are available, which means the sand is available under the ground, which means where the water is deposited under the ground as it's a part percolation in continuation manner, that water part is very fresh aquafied water, we can say that, because due to the sand, due to the rocks, when water is getting the percolation under the ground, the water is getting filtered here, so that we can say here. Visit the well in your area and try to find out how many feet below the ground is the water level. Find out if there is any rocks underneath, and if so, what kind of a rock it is. Also find out about who owns the well, when was it dug, and how much money was spent. Add up all the information about the wells and prepare a small booklet, which means if in your village, in your neighbor's house, if anywhere if you find the dig well, just identify it, how many feet it was digged, at what feet the water is available in the dig well, that you have to find out just for awareness. The groundwater is available in your area at what level, which means after how many feet of the, after how many feet digging of your area the water is getting. To identify that you just have to observe. Water table or groundwater level, rocks and groundwater in Telangana is one of the theoretical part. The figure is given and recharging groundwater when the water is falling, and quality of groundwater and use of the groundwater, and then we can find here the diseases which comes by the water like cholera, dysentery and jaundice. These are the continuous diseases which comes by the water, and because what are the consequences will happen with the water, that from the title of recharging groundwater and from the title of quality of from the title of Groundwater we have completed. Water table and the groundwater we will see in the next class. And prepare some 1 mark questions related to this lesson, and do complete fair note down the improve your learning and some 1 mark questions, and regarding of the what project information collections was given in this improve your learning questions, that you have to write in your fair note, and we will continue remaining of this chapter in next session. Thank you.